Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. 0.7.9 is now out for everybody, and yeah, I want to use today to give you guys my opinion on the state of the current update and its features, and also I want to do some stuff with the company. So we are going to take one of my trucks and replace it with something else, make a new route, and yeah, see how that all works out. So to start out with, we need to get to the truck which I want to replace. And I think it might be not too far away. It's, yeah, this one I think. So this is another one of my container trucks going from Jeju Harbor um, to this place over here, Overseas Import Company, and then down to OG Gate. So just trying to supply to some different locations here. And it's a line with very limited use case, so I'm going to give up on that. But yeah, in order to do so properly, I want to start by getting that vehicle, and then we're gonna go from there. So let's drive towards it and just try to catch it, and then we're going to see from there how I'm gonna deal with the entire thing. The main thing here is we need to give it another trailer. I want to switch it over to oil duty and have it deliver some oil to the plastic factory. So for that I need to take care of it and switch out the trailers here. So it should be coming up somewhere over on the crest, or maybe after the mountain. It should be somewhere on this road, and it should be pretty hard to miss. Let's see. And to be clear, since I have that much money, I actually built up the trucks to be fully upgraded and all of that, so this is not gonna look like a standard truck. There it is. Ooh, Jesus Christ. This is actually a recolored version of my own truck, and yeah, it has all the upgrades. I could use it just like one of those, so let's just take over. Gonna do a GTA here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do here. We are going to fully remove it from the company now. Gonna use the mouse here. It's hard to get to the correct button sometimes. So we want to remove it from company. Just like... Okay, it apparently also gets deleted. I did not... Did I press the wrong button there? I didn't see that one coming. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna have to watch back that whole footage where I mean, I just removed it from the company. I didn't say it should be despawned, and yeah, let's go and get the tractor again so that we can remove the trailer from the road. It's not really in a good position there. Yeah, I also took care of finally getting some paint jobs for my two Neos. The other one is pretty similar, but in a full racing suit. Just gonna yeah, get my FL3 here. And yeah, every other truck that I have, the other FL1 and 2s, they are exactly the same. The only main difference from my to my own truck, apart from the paint job, is that all the lights now activate on yeah, just getting the high beams up, and also the underglow that I put into the what's it called again, into the radiator thing there. That's actually blue now to fit with the rest of the color scheme, so that's pretty much it. I don't know if I properly showed you guys this before, but yeah, I have three of these driving around now. I was actually considering to maybe get rid of one of my buses here, but since I don't think I'll be doing this a whole lot and it's gonna be more of a temporary thing, I think it's better if I just take care of this right now and temporarily switch out one of my trucks for another truck. Okay, and apparently that thing is supposed to go over there. I'll have to check back with the route here, but I just want to get it to a parking space where I can delete it. And yeah, I might as well catch some more ghosts on the way there. Even though I already road killed about 500 of them. A few more don't hurt. At least they don't hurt me. So yeah, it's actually been a while since I recorded a video. The last one I think was the Halloween stuff. But everything beforehand was more like middle of October. I had a few rough weeks and yeah, just didn't feel like recording doing that. Jesus Christ, this trailer is all over the place. But yeah, today, finally back in the driver's seat, so to speak. I've done a bit of playing in between, made some money, did some stuff, tried out a few things, made some feedback posts on the Discord. We're gonna talk about the developments in a bit here. But yeah, first up, let's take care of all of this. So first up, we are going to get rid of our container trailer, including the container. So let's remove that one. And let's now get the tanker trailer. I'm gonna be using my own one. If I was to do this for a longer time, I would actually go and buy a separate trailer just for the truck here. Maybe that would be a good move. I don't know. It's gonna be alright if I just let it drive with my own one, I think. I don't really have any plans of using it anytime soon, so this should be alright. Last thing right now is to just put it closer to the road so that when the AI picks it up again, it can just get going and doesn't get bogged down, try to navigate through the parking lot. Over here should be alright, so let's go in, make a new truck route real quick. It's gonna be a short one. And then see what we do from there. So I think where I want to start here is over here at the harbor. I think this is the pickup station for fuel. We are going to take it down all the way to the Oldley drilling site. At which point, when it unloads, it should also be able to pick up some crude oil. Bring that over to the refinery drop-off. Then get back to the... you just saw another one of my trucks going over there in the back. Then go to the oil refinery, and from there it should be picking up some refined oil, and I hope that goes here. I think that should be the dropper for the oil, and this would be where you pick up the stuff it makes from the oil, the whole plastic and pipes thing. And at that point it's just rinse and repeat, so we are going to say this is the oil run. So that's all set up and almost ready to go. Let's now add another vehicle. Since we just removed our truck, we can now put it back in. And yeah, let's go. We cannot really sort by recently used over here. But yeah, semi-tractor. I just use the FL3, so this should be this one right here. Double click, and if we look at it now, yeah, this is the one standing right next to us, so this is the correct one. And yeah, now we assign the truck route, go to the oil run, and now it's going. Occasionally I should be checking back if it's actually picking up the right stuff. I think there is a chance that it actually picks up fuel at the refinery and brings it over to the harbor, but hopefully it works out. But yeah, this is really the entire process of getting the stuff dealt with and how we are supposed to do it. And yeah, let me just get back into a regular car here. I like that they changed over how the list is sorted, so it's not gonna just constantly have the currently active AI vehicles and campies and all of that. On the top is actually the stuff that you have been using, so that's really useful here. So makes it much easier to get back into a recently used vehicle, and I really love that change. But let's talk a bit about my opinion on the whole matter. I think it's really nice having AI trucks in the company. They might not be what some people were thinking about because it doesn't really help you make a lot of money. I think in the long run it's still gonna make a bit here and there, but I see their purpose more in non-material gain, meaning that you can just set them up to do some delivery stuff that you don't want to take care of yourself. Like in my case, I don't really enjoy doing the whole container stuff all that much, so just having a few AI drivers doing that for me is really helping out quite a bit. And with a recent change, we now also get a whole lot of pallets produced from that, and also can just pick them up at the different places. Beforehand, they were more like in deep storage and you couldn't really do deliveries with them. But now you get a whole lot of them, and yeah, you can completely fill up even the Lobo van if you have the whole container thing going for a while. So that's really nice. And what I mean is, if we just go to the warehouse over here, I hope I can activate from within the car. This kind of stuff. There used to be like maybe 4 or 5 pallets over time, but now, yeah, you actually get a whole lot of them. So you can actually now do deliveries with them, with large trucks and all of that, so that's really nice. But yeah, the company vehicles, when it comes to making money, not the greatest, but then again, it also depends on how you approach the entire thing. If you have a few spare trucks and you just want them to do some stuff with those instead of the trucks being in your storage all the time, I think it's gonna be way worth it anyways. It's not gonna be too amazing if you do what I just did, just buying vehicles specifically for those AI drivers. That's gonna be a huge investment and it's gonna take forever until you make the money back, but I kinda like it about that. So yeah, more for spare vehicles that you're not using yourself, so that's how you would be making a lot of money with those early game. And later down the line, maybe you care more about some parts of supply chains being taken care of without your active involvement. And I think for that, it's a really good thing to have. So yeah, AI company vehicles I think are pretty good right now. But yeah, I get that some people are not gonna be happy about them not making the money back if they make a huge investment into them. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the whole shortcut thing. I've seen on the Discord that Mr. Wang said that yeah, the first one didn't really get that much balancing and there's gonna be more work done to that. I suggested that they may just turn this into a regular road that would be really nice for some deliveries. Anything that needs to go from Jeju to down south or the other direction is still gonna stay on the paved road. But yeah, it would be nice having another one that's gonna be useful for some deliveries throughout the area. And I think if they use the different type of mud, it would be really nice for this. But yeah, for the current update, the new shortcut. They solved this entire thing by doing something that I suggested. They made it so that some of the heavier trucks have a harder time on the deep mud. I'm not 100% happy with that solution, but the alternative would have been nerfing that shortcut into the ground until nobody wants to use it. So right now it's pretty good for some vehicles, but something ridiculous like a fully loaded 20 cubic meter tanker thing. I mean, of course, the Atlas tanker. It used to be able to just breeze through the mud, and I didn't really like that. That's basically been what the dev has been trying to avoid. And I think it's better finally giving some of the vehicles that are not supposed to do those routes the nerf that they need in order to not be able to, instead of constantly having to rebalance the stuff until nothing can really use it well. So I think that's in the end still a good way to handle it. And yeah, from what I understand, the nerf is primarily for that mud, it's used a bit throughout Guangjin, but not really too much. So in most routes, it's not gonna have an impact, and I think that's a decent way of balancing this. But yeah, something needed to be done, and I don't think just readjusting the route itself until it's completely unusable for everything is the way to go here. So it's more of a story of a lesser evil in the end. Other few things that happened here. Oh god, that bus came way too close to me. Oh, I was going too close to the other side where I was a bit afraid for a moment. Yeah, the Halloween stuff, it's kinda neat. The ghosts are really only there for the achievement. You need to drive over 20 of them. 100 I mean. Don't know why I said 20 there. But yeah, 100 for the Steam achievement. Don't mind if I do. And from that point on, they really don't do anything for you. And yeah, you can just go to the Halloween mansion over here at any point to buy yourself some of the costumes or the furniture. And yeah, I think that's about it for most of the stuff here. I mean, there are a few minor changes to the area. There are now some rivers down here which are nice looking, so we added some bridges to the road just to change up the looks of it a bit. Oh yeah, and they added this whole thing, the Nobong Cement Factory construction. I don't know if it's ever gonna be a cement factory, but right now it's just the construction site for one. We can actually drive over there and have a quick look. Oh, we could actually teleport there if I didn't have my wanted level right now, so let's just keep on driving. There must be another ghost nearby when it starts raining. So let's just drive there instead. It's gonna be a bit of a trip, but who cares? So that whole thing, I don't know. I hope they don't take too much time putting in a temporary construction site there, just to later swap it out. It would be oddly specific if they made this to become a concrete factory at some point. Boop. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what's the plan for that. I wish we would get some progress on Ara, which is the whole thing down here. Supposedly another harbor town, but Yeah, there's been like, it's a very small construction site and it's been like that for quite a while, so I don't know what's going on with that. To be clear, I can absolutely understand that this is gonna take a while, making a large city or mid-sized city, whatever they are going for. It's gonna take a bit longer than just putting down another, whatever else they do, like just another factory or stuff like that. Any type of industry is gonna be quicker than making a whole road network, all the different city buildings and all of that. Potentially shops and that kind of deal, police station, terminals, bus stations, whatever. There's a whole lot of stuff to take care of if they want to make another city, but I hope we get at least another one. Maybe 2 or 3 on OG. I mean, it's supposed to be like a backland kind of deal, but more large cities would also be nice to have in the long run. Oh, and that's something that I had happen before. So, yeah, the ghost starts glitched into my car and messed with the camera. Gotta be careful about that. Thankfully, they despawn sooner than later, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh yeah, and also the new road shortcut here. Really happy about this one. Just having another few roads around the place is always nice to get. And this one is kind of spectacular in its own right, because of the upcoming bridge over there. Oh yeah, and another big thing that happened is the whole mechanic about the overload stuff right now. Honestly, while I kinda like the idea of it, I don't know if it's well balanced right now. It doesn't feel like it's really dialed in. It doesn't really do all that much. And yeah, there are basically 2 different things to it which we need to talk about separately. First one is the whole axle weight thing, and that's more of a... it's a common law in different countries. And that's really there to save your road from getting damaged. So yeah, that doesn't really have anything to do with failure points on your trucks or anything. It's more about trying to keep the road from deteriorating due to all the trucks driving over them. And yeah, then it makes perfect sense that you get fined for all of that, but you can just keep going, and yeah, it's not like your truck will fall apart or anything. And yeah, the second thing is the tire wear that's supposed to increase through the overloading and all of that. You can get rid of some of the downsides by taking the higher capacity wheels now, the heavy load ones. But honestly, I mean, I of course upgraded to the heavy load tires. It doesn't really feel like anything is happening. I think that should be way more severe, just so that you get into 20% tire wear without too much time if you're severely overloading. Oh Jesus Christ, not again. I can't even see anything right now. For a moment I thought I was going off a cliff there. Thankfully I just went off the road a bit. Yeah, that whole mechanic doesn't really do much for me, and I think even for the other parts, for the fine and all of that, I wish it would be handled differently. If we go over the weight stations, which are integrated in some roads, I think they are in like 2 or 3 places here. Let's see, I think there's definitely one somewhere on this bridge, and I think there's another one somewhere around here. I don't know exactly. And yeah, there are also weight stations in the harbor, but those don't give fines. I wish we would just get a wanted level instead. First up, the fines, 3000. By the time that you even get a vehicle that you can overload to begin with, it's not gonna be that much of a big deal. I mean, okay, containers can be quite heavy, but yeah, any other stuff, the only thing that you can really overload on, I mean, planks of course, and mainly also the fuel and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you need a large vehicle to begin with for that. That means it's gonna take a while. And I think at that point, 3,000 fine isn't really... It's not that much. It's definitely a lot more than for a lot of the other things that you can have. Like speeding, going the wrong way, collisions and all of that. That's a much smaller fine than the overloading one. But I think it would be more impactful if we actually got a police wanted level and then got the fine if we cannot escape. First up, if you're being overloaded, it's gonna be really hard escaping the police, and yeah, I think it's also a bit more impactful. Police is gonna be a nuisance at any point, but the fine is just something that you're gonna pay anyways, just because it's cost of doing business at that point. So yeah, we're gonna have to see about all of that. But I think having a police chase through that and having to stop and all that kind of stuff, it would be more impactful than just the fine itself. Could be a bit more fun as well. Maybe since, from what I heard, the on-road load measuring stations, they are not entirely precise, and maybe if you get stopped by the police, they could reassess the situation, so you get another measurement taken when they want to dish off a fine, and maybe you're just being let go at that point because while standing still you might be below the limit or something. But yeah, anyways, this is the construction site. And it's just gonna function like any other one from what I can tell over here. So it's just gonna take in the concrete, give you a sand, and that's about it. But yeah, it would be interesting getting another concrete factory over here. Would definitely trivialize the limestone deliveries because those are much shorter to this place. But yeah, we're gonna have to see about that. I really like the idea overall, and it's also nice just getting a few other things in this area. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with this place and all the other ones. There's still so much empty space on the map. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of expansions we are getting. I've also seen some stuff on the Trello about, yeah, just getting more connections, like from over here to Ara. And I mean, at some point, we're also supposedly gonna do something over here, continue the coastal road. But that's likely for far in the future. Who knows when that's gonna be taken care of. And yeah, I think those are the main parts of this. I don't remember if there was anything else. I'm scatterbrained recently. It's been quite bad, honestly. But yeah, stuff has been happening. And yeah, since I've been talking about the limestone and all of that, they reworked the weight of some goods so that it's now, when you have a bulk, some bulk loaded stuff or liquids, that kind of thing, they all now have density. And for the most part, it's been working out pretty well. They reduced some of the capacities of different trucks in order to make things work a bit more like they used to. So instead of 15 tons or 15 cubic meters for the dump trailer and the dumpy, it's now down to 10 kiloliters or 10 cubic meters, whatever. That's basically the same. And yeah, that's working a bit better with density from sand and fine sand to bring back the old, a similar total weight to the way it was before. I'm not entirely happy about how they've done it with the coal mine, because coal apparently is much lighter than water, so it's far less dense, and now with a reduced capacity, we are at 6 tons of load instead of 15, and that area in particular, this run over here, was definitely designed to work well with 15 tons, and now it's just a breeze to go through. So that's a bit too easy in my opinion. But yeah, that has been changed, and we're gonna have to see how it's gonna go in the long run. Maybe we'll get some heavier vehicles in at some point with higher capacity, maybe going back up to like 15 or 20 kiloliters. So that would be closer to what we had before. Maybe they would be too hard to handle and not allow us to really make use of it in the to the fullest and be able to even do those kind of heavier runs. But as it is right now, I don't know if I'm even going to be bothering with coal. It's just, it's really not that interesting anymore. Bit of a shame, but for the most part, I think this was a necessary change to bring some variety into the jobs and not have every single material weigh the same and or be loaded to the same weight and just it feeling the same all the time. Limestone is actually exceptionally heavy in that regard. It's now up to 25 tons on those larger dump vehicles. The journey you take with that is really not that big of a deal, so it's still working out and not being a problem. Plus when I take the dump trailer into the quarry, I make sure to use an SRT with a heavy duty engine and that kind of stuff instead of the Limousin Semi. Haven't even tried this, oh god, the Semi. So no idea if it could do it. But yeah, we'd have to see about all of that. But yeah, overall, while the update didn't really have much of a theming, I mean, yeah, the truck company stuff was definitely the major feature of this one. But yeah, I think it's a lot of good changes that really improve the game in the long run. Just gonna see where they go from there. The 3 new vehicles are nice. I don't really see any of them as much of a replacement for existing stuff. I think the Atlas has more potential for being a replacement for other medium or medium heavy duty kind of deals than some of the other vehicles. And from what I heard in the Discord, what Scaleman said is that the other vehicles, the Nuke and the Dabo, they are actually over a year old. So I think that might have been happening before we had the whole Tuscan fallout, where we wanted to take the Chevy Nova lookalike as a replacement for the Camaro lookalike, and people weren't happy with that. I know that for the Police Interceptor there is a better vehicle coming at some point, but everything else we're gonna have to see about, and yeah, I hope that once we get proper replacement vehicles that are based on the same thing, that we are actually going to take out the old ones once there is a straight up upgrade for those available. But right now they keep the old vehicles in game, and I don't really like it that much, but then again, I don't think there's a single one right now that has just a straight up good replacement based on the same or very similar vehicle at least. I mean, I looked up the Dabo, what it's based on, and honestly, the Dabo or Dabo, whatever, it's kinda, it's a bit of an ugly duckling in my opinion. I really don't like the front lights. It's a bit weird looking, and it seems like it's one of the more niche K-trucks, even among the K-trucks. And funnily enough, even the original real-life version of what the Dabo is based on, if we go back to the mid-80s or something, there is a version of that that looks pretty much like the good old Bora, with the round headlights and everything. I know the Bora is more based on the Subaru Semba, but yeah, it might as well be the Devo whatever. But yeah, right now the replacement vehicles, or what has been titled as replacement, still doesn't really look that much like the stuff that it's supposed to be replacing, and yeah. As long as we get something that's more accurate, I don't mind them not doing the replacement stuff right now. But I think in the long run it's gonna be much better if they actually get rid of the old vehicles. Because they just don't look that great, and they are going to be an eyesore once we have all the replacement stuff in-game. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about. Saying that about the third time right now, I don't know. But yeah, let me know your opinion on the matter. I know I've been a bit harsh on the dev for that whole thing, but I mean that topic in particular, they kind of need to get it right, and if they don't get it right at this point right now, I think it's just gonna be more painful later down the line, and yeah, with some of the stuff, it's gonna be, if you don't go the right course at that point, correcting later down the line is just gonna be so much more work and so much more backlash. So setting the expectations for replacements correctly, I think, would help out further down the line. But yeah, we first up need to get proper replacement vehicles based on the same thing as what they want to replace to begin with. And I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen once they actually put some of those into the game. And I hope they go the right direction from there, and yeah, just pick a lane with that. I talked about this quite a bit in the past, and my conclusion is that there are a lot of ways to handle this, and there's not a single one that's gonna please everyone. Somebody's always gonna end up disappointed, and I think at that point they might be better off just doing the thing that's best for the game overall. And in my opinion, that is put in a new vehicle that's based on the same thing as what you want to replace, and just replace the model. So that everybody who logs out before the update comes back in and still has the car with the same upgrades, but it's gonna be the better looking version of it. But yeah, that remains to be seen if they do it like that, but I hope that's what's gonna happen. Anyways, enough about that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and till next one, have a good one, and bye bye.